Hello, everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Gossip. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jason's heartbreaking revelation: Monica's death news. General Hospital spoilers and updates reveal that Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, is set to deliver some devastating news regarding Monica Quartermaine, Leslie Charlson. It appears that Jason will announce at the Q Mansion that the matriarch has died, so let's talk about the challenging times that lie ahead. Jason may be the family member who discovers that Monica died in her sleep. Now that Jason has returned from Croatia, he will likely want to visit Monica's room to catch up. However, by the time he arrives home, he might feel it's too late and choose to wait until morning when Monica is awake. Unfortunately, there's a possibility that Monica may never wake up for that chat. There's a significant chance that she could pass away in her sleep, leading Jason to enter her room only to discover that she's already gone. September 17th, Jason will have some heartbreaking news to share, so he will probably inform Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, and anyone else present to face the difficult news at the Q estate. Jason announces that Monica has passed away. It seems that Jason is about to reveal that Monica has passed away, prompting everyone to grapple with this news. Monica had been unwell for some time, so it won't come as a complete surprise. However, for those who loved her, moving forward without her will be a significant challenge. Jason and Tracy will be profoundly affected by Monica's loss, leading them to have a sincere discussion in the near future. It will be comforting for both Tracy and Jason to support one another during this tough time. In the wake of Monica's passing, Jason will confront some feelings of regret. Tracy might ponder the deep love that existed between Jason and Monica. Ultimately, that love was what truly mattered. The news will spread through Port Charles and those close to the Quartermaine family. Cody Bell, Josh Kelly, will also respond to Monica's death, so you can be sure he'll provide support to Tracy, Brooke Lynn Quartermaine, Amanda Seton, and anyone else in need. As for Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, it seems that Elizabeth Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst, will be the one to inform him about Monica's passing. Will Drew finally display a genuine human reaction and show signs of grief? Drew and Monica haven't had the best relationship for some time, but there was a period when they truly cared for one another. Perhaps Drew can reconnect with that part of himself and allow himself to mourn a little before reverting to the despicable GH villain we all know. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with GH right now. Come back here often for General Hospital spoilers, news, the world of General Hospital has never shied away from jaw-dropping twists, and today's spoilers deliver one of the most gut-wrenching storylines fans have ever seen. Jason Morgan, a man who has survived death itself and endured unimaginable loss, is now faced with a heartbreaking revelation: Monica Quartermaine's death. The news rocks not just Jason, but the entire Quartermaine family and Port Charles as a whole. As the matriarch of the legendary Quartermaine dynasty, Monica's presence on GH has spanned decades. Her wisdom, resilience, and endless capacity to forgive shaped generations of characters. Now, Jason's devastating discovery about Monica's fate sets off a wave of grief, conflict, and reflection that will ripple throughout the canvas for months to come. In this breakdown, we'll explore how Jason learns the shocking news, the aftermath for the Quartermaine family, and what this means for General Hospital's future storylines. Buckle up, because this one's going to hurt. Jason's shocking discovery. Spoilers reveal that Jason is the one who uncovers the truth about Monica's death, and it's not delivered in a quiet, family-centered moment. Instead, in true GH fashion, it happens during a crisis. Jason, long estranged from the Quartermaine family despite Monica's constant attempts to keep him close, receives a call that changes everything. While in the middle of handling mob business and trying to shield his children from danger, Jason gets the devastating message: Monica has passed away unexpectedly. Sources hint the death may be medical, perhaps a sudden heart-related issue, or tied to lingering health struggles that Monica had quietly battled. Either way, Jason is blindsided. He's spent years believing he could always come home to Monica, no matter how messy his life became. To find out that her steady hand and unconditional love are gone forever shakes him to his core. Jason's guilt and regret. For Jason, Monica's death is not just about losing a mother figure, it's about losing his last tie to his Quartermaine identity. She was the one person who loved both Jason Morgan and Jason Quartermaine, never giving up on either side of him. The guilt hits him immediately. Jason hasn't been as present in Monica's life as he should have been, caught up in mob wars, betrayals, and secrets. He'll regret not spending more time with her, especially since she supported him through every storm. Fans will remember that even when Jason and Sonny were at odds, Monica remained in her son's corner. Now, Jason is left haunted by what-ifs. What if he had checked in more often? What if he had stayed with the family longer instead of isolating himself? His regret becomes a driving force, and spoilers suggest it will influence many of his upcoming decisions, particularly when it comes to his children. The Quartermaine family in shambles. If there's one family in Port Charles that knows how to implode during times of crisis, it's the Quartermaines. Monica's death strips the family of its matriarch, and the fallout is massive. Ned Quartermaine, Wally Kurth already torn between his ELQ responsibilities and his personal life, Ned is crushed. Monica was his rock, the one who tried to keep the Quartermaines united. Without her, Ned fears the family legacy could crumble entirely. Brooke Lynn Quartermaine, Amanda Seton Brooke Lynn adored Monica's warmth and loyalty, especially as she navigated struggles with Chase. Expect her grief to manifest in fierce determination to honor her grandmother's memory. Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell. Monica's death shakes Michael's foundation. While he often aligned more with the Corinthos side of his heritage, Monica represented stability, compassion, and forgiveness. This loss may cause Michael to re-evaluate his own choices and the kind of legacy he wants to leave for Wiley and Amelia. Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson. For Drew, who shares Jason's bond as Monica's son, the grief is doubled. Drew has leaned on Monica for guidance since his return, and losing her now reopens wounds of identity, belonging, and purpose. His relationship with Jason could also fracture or strengthen depending on how they handle the mourning process together. Monica's legacy. While Monica is gone, her influence will loom large over Port Charles. Spoilers tease that she left behind more than memories. There are letters, recorded messages, and instructions for her children and grandchildren. Expect Monica to deliver posthumous wisdom, pushing Jason, Drew, and Michael to reconnect with their Quartermaine roots. She may even have final requests that reignite long-standing family conflicts. For instance, if Monica entrusted ELQ-related secrets to someone unexpected, it could trigger another corporate battle. Fans should also brace themselves for emotional flashbacks. GH has a rich history of Monica moments, from her epic battles with Alan to her fierce protection of Jason, AJ, and Emily. The show will almost certainly honor her with a heartfelt tribute episode, filled with both tears and laughter, as the Quartermaines remember their matriarch's best one-liners and fiercest fights. Jason's turning point. Jason's revelation about Monica's death doesn't just leave him grieving, it changes his trajectory. 4 years, Jason has lived in a cycle of violence, loyalty to Sonny, and estrangement from the Quartermaines. Now, without Monica to anchor him, Jason is forced to confront his priorities. Spoilers hint Jason may step back from mob life, at least temporarily. Monica always wanted him to live a safer life for the sake of his children. Her death could finally push him to honor that wish. That doesn't mean Jason will suddenly morph into the perfect father or Quartermaine heir, but it does mean fans could see a softer, more family-centered side of him emerge. This shift could spark major drama with Sonny Corinthos, who depends on Jason's loyalty in his ongoing mob wars. If Jason begins prioritizing Danny and Jake over Sonny's empire, tensions between the two men may resurface in explosive fashion. Carly's role in Jason's storyline would be complete without Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, being front and center. Carly knows how much Monica meant to Jason, even if their relationship was complicated. Spoilers indicate Carly will be the first person Jason turns to after the shocking news. Expect some deeply emotional scenes between the two best friends, as Carly helps Jason process the guilt and pain. Their bond may grow stronger than ever, though fans will no doubt speculate whether this could finally rekindle romantic sparks. After all, grief often leads to unexpected decisions, and Monica's death may bring Jason and Carly closer than ever. Elizabeth and the children. Another critical layer to this storyline is how Monica's death impacts Elizabeth Weber and her connection to Jason's children. Monica was a stabilizing grandmother figure for Jake, and Liz will be deeply concerned about how the loss affects him. Expect Liz to step in and support both Jake and Jason, potentially creating some tense but meaningful moments between her and Sam McCall as they navigate parenting dynamics. This could even reignite the old love triangle Sparks fans remember so well, as Jason's grief makes him lean on both Liz and Carly in different ways. What this means for Port Charles. The ripple effects of Monica's death extend beyond the Quartermaines and Jason. Monica was also a respected doctor at General Hospital, a mentor to countless younger physicians, and a voice of reason in the community. Her absence leaves a huge void at GH, forcing other doctors, like Finn, Elizabeth, and Portia, to step up in new ways. It also paves the way for old faces to return, as characters from Monica's past may come back to pay respects and shake up the canvas. Fans are already speculating about potential cameos from former Quartermaines or even surprise returns tied to Monica's legacy. A heartfelt tribute episode. General Hospital thrives on honoring its history, and Monica Quartermaine's death is no exception. Insiders hint a tribute episode is in the works, complete with emotional flashbacks, tearful goodbyes, and perhaps even ghostly visits from beloved Quartermaines of the past. Imagine Alan Quartermaine appearing in Jason's dreams, reassuring him that Monica is at peace. Or Emily's spirit comforting Michael or Drew. These emotional beats are exactly what longtime fans crave, and they'll provide closure while celebrating the incredible history Leslie Charleson brought to the role. Final thoughts. Jason's heartbreaking revelation about Monica's death is one of the most shocking twists General Hospital has delivered in years. It's not just about losing a character, it's about losing the moral compass of the Quartermaine family, a woman who balanced forgiveness with fierceness, and who never stopped believing in her children, no matter their flaws. For Jason, the news is life-altering. His grief, guilt, and regret will set off a chain of decisions that could redefine his future, his relationship with Sonny, and his role as a father. For the Quartermaines, it's the end of an era and the start of a new, uncertain chapter. As Port Charles mourns Monica Quartermaine, one thing is clear: her legacy will never be forgotten. Her love, her wisdom, and her resilience will continue to shape storylines long after her shocking death. Sidwell forces Britt and Dalton into new lab. Emma becomes collateral damage? General Hospital, GH, spoilers tantalize with the prospect of Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rota, forcing Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thibault, and Professor Henry, Hank, Dalton, Daniel Goddard, to work together in a new lab in Port Charles. We will learn more about what Britt was doing at the Five Poppies Resort and also more about Dalton. Britt was effectively held hostage in Croatia as she analyzed Dalton's secretive lab data. That was before Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, rescued her. Both of them are now in PC, and what happens next is guaranteed to be wild. Let's take a peek. What was Britt up to? The lab op was compromised, but Britt's work was backed up. Now that she's in Port Charles, as is Professor Dalton, we predict she may be forced to now continue her work in his lab. Will we see Sidwell summon Britt and Dalton to his gloomy manse for a meeting? Definitely maybe. Britt PC return causes waves. Why would Britt comply at this point? She's free from her Croatian captor, but she requires medication that is being used to control her. It makes sense that Britt would move on to Dalton's lab since the storyline is large and tangled, meaning there is more action to come. This includes Emma Scorpio Drake, Braden Bruner, investigating Professor Dalton. Dear Emma still plans to break into the lab and hold Professor Dalton accountable for whatever it is that he's doing in there. Emma and Britt go to war? On top of that, Emma hates Britt's guts, so we predict she will relish the thought of ruining her as well as Dalton. The problem is that Emma could be on the wrong track. She is focused on illegal animal testing, while it sounds like Dalton is toying with cold fusion. Emma is stunned like everyone else when she discovers that Britt is alive. But, if Britt comes to Emma's rescue, Emma may have to reconsider her Hatterade. Juicy General Hospital spoilers indicate that Emma is about to receive shocking news that leads to high-stakes drama in the coming days, so stay tuned. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with General Hospital right now. GH has never been short on shocking twists, But today's spoilers bring a sinister new layer to the already tangled web of Port Charles drama. Just when fans thought the danger was waning, a new player, Dr. Sidwell, takes center stage. His manipulative tactics force Britt Westbourne and Dr. Dalton into a treacherous new lab project that could spell disaster for everyone. Even worse, whispers suggest that Emma Scorpio Drake could become an innocent pawn, her life hanging in the balance as Sidwell tightens his grip. What does this mean for the characters we love? Is Port Charles on the brink of another medical catastrophe, and will Emma pay the price? Let's dive into the twists, turns, and shocking fallout this latest development promises. Sidwell's return, a villain in the shadows. General Hospital has introduced its fair share of villains, but Dr. Sidwell stands apart for his cold, clinical ruthlessness. His reappearance in Port Charles sets the stage for a dangerous new arc that combines science, power, and manipulation. Unlike mobsters or con artists, Sidwell is a different breed of threat, an academic predator who hides his ambition behind a mask of intellectual curiosity. His previous experiments raised red flags, but now he's back with more resources and a chilling determination. This time, Sidwell's not asking for volunteers. He's coercing two brilliant but morally torn doctors, Britt Westbourne and newcomer Dr. Dalton, into a secret laboratory project that could have far-reaching consequences. Britt's dilemma, redemption or regression. Britt Westbourne, known to fans as the Britch during her scheming years, has been on a long journey toward redemption. She's tried to rebuild her reputation, reconcile with her past mistakes, and carve out a future where she's seen as more than Faison's daughter. But Sidwell threatens all of that progress. With his manipulative leverage, Britt finds herself cornered. He knows her past sins, her vulnerabilities, and the skeletons she still hides. By dangling those secrets over her, he forces Britt back into a world she desperately wants to escape. Is this the end of Britt's redemption arc? Or will she find a way to outsmart Sidwell without sacrificing her fragile new identity? Fans worry that this forced partnership could undo years of growth, pushing Britt into morally gray territory that could alienate her loved ones all over again. Dr. Dalton's dark past. Enter Dr. Dalton, a brilliant but mysterious physician whose arrival in Port Charles sparked curiosity. Little was initially known about him, but spoilers now suggest that Dalton's past is darker than anyone imagined. Rumors swirl that Sidwell holds incriminating evidence about Dalton's time overseas, where his medical work may have crossed into ethically questionable territory. Whether it involved illegal trials, black market research, or a tragic accident, Sidwell clearly has Dalton under his thumb. For Dalton, joining Sidwell's lab isn't about ambition, it's about survival. He's desperate to keep his secrets buried, but the price may be his integrity, and possibly Emma's safety. The sinister new lab project. So what exactly is happening in Sidwell's new lab? Spoilers hint at a cutting-edge genetic experiment, one that could revolutionize medicine but at a terrifying cost. Sidwell isn't seeking cures, he's seeking control. His obsession with manipulating human DNA, creating new forms of treatment, or perhaps even weaponizing diseases, makes his lab a breeding ground for disaster. With Britt and Dalton forced to lend their expertise, the stakes skyrocket. Britt's background in obstetrics and Dalton's rumored experience with viral pathogens create a volatile mix. Fans can't help but wonder, is Sidwell playing God, and who will pay the ultimate price? Emma becomes a target. The most heartbreaking spoiler of all involves Emma Scorpio Drake. Once the sweet, precocious daughter of Robin Scorpio and Patrick Drake, Emma has always been portrayed as the bright spot in her family's turbulent history. But spoilers suggest Sidwell may view Emma as the perfect test subject, or worse, collateral damage in his twisted experiments. Whether it's her genetic makeup, her family's medical legacy, or her connection to both Robin and Anna, Emma's name keeps surfacing in Sidwell's plans. Imagine the devastation if Emma were harmed. Robin and Patrick would be shattered. Anna, already battling guilt and loss, would spiral. And Britt, who has grown close to Emma over the years, would face unbearable guilt if her forced involvement with Sidwell indirectly endangered the young girl. Robin and Patrick's desperate race. Of course, if Emma's safety is threatened, Robin Scorpio and Patrick Drake will stop at nothing to protect her. Robin, herself no stranger to lab-related trauma and medical manipulation, will instantly recognize Sidwell's game. Her past with villainous doctors like Faison and Albrecht gives her unique insight into how this type of threat unfolds. Patrick, meanwhile, will struggle with his protective instincts and his fury at Britt for being entangled in Sidwell's scheme. Despite their complicated history, Patrick still respects Britt's medical expertise. But will he see her as a victim, or as someone complicit in putting his daughter at risk? Fans are bracing for emotional, gut-wrenching scenes as Robin and Patrick confront Sidwell and fight to save Emma before it's too late. Anna Devane, haunted by her failures. Anna Devane, Emma's grandmother, has always carried the weight of her family's safety on her shoulders. From the WSB to her years of espionage, Anna has fought countless battles against threats to her loved ones. Feels different. Sidwell's methods are not bombs or bullets, they're needles, formulas, and coded DNA. Anna's usual tactics may not be enough to dismantle this threat. Worse, she'll face crushing guilt if Emma becomes entangled in the fallout. Anna has already endured the loss of children, partners, and friends. To watch Emma suffer, or worse, could be the breaking point for one of GH's strongest women. The ripple effect across Port Charles. Sidwell's lab experiment won't just affect Britt, Dalton, and Emma, it could ripple across all of Port Charles. Jason Morgan could be pulled into the chaos, especially if Sidwell's work ties into mob-related drug distribution. Sonny Corinthos may find his empire intersecting with Sidwell's funding sources, forcing him to choose between power and protecting Emma. Liz Weber might play a key role, given her medical knowledge and her past connections to experimental treatments. Even Carly Spencer could get swept up if the danger spreads beyond the hospital walls, threatening the entire community. This isn't just a family crisis, it's a town-wide ticking time bomb. Britt's breaking point. Fans can expect Britt to wrestle with one of the most difficult decisions of her life. Does she obey Sidwell, keeping her secret safe while putting Emma at risk? Or does she betray him, risking her own downfall but potentially saving an innocent child? Her complicated bond with Emma may prove to be the turning point. Britt has always longed for acceptance and love, and Emma represents both the innocence she lost and the family she craves. If Britt chooses to protect Emma, it could mark her true redemption, but at a devastating cost. Dalton's moral crossroads. Similarly, Dr. Dalton must face his past demons. He can no longer hide behind excuses or coercion. If Emma's life is on the line, will he finally confess the truth about what Sidwell is holding over him? His choice could determine whether he becomes Port Charles's next hero, or its next tragic villain. Possible outcomes. Who survives Sidwell's game? As GH builds toward this shocking climax, fans are already speculating about possible outcomes. Emma survives, but changed forever. Even if Robin and Patrick save their daughter, the trauma could reshape Emma's future, potentially pushing her toward a darker path. Britt's redemption arc solidifies. If Britt sacrifices herself to save Emma, it could be her most heroic moment, cementing her transformation once and for all. Dalton's downfall. Dalton may not escape unscathed. Whether through exposure of his past or a fatal sacrifice, his role in Sidwell's lab may seal his fate. Sidwell's legacy continues. Even if Sidwell is defeated, his experiments may leave behind a trail of chaos, setting up future GH storylines involving mysterious illnesses, hidden data, or new villains carrying on his work. Why this storyline matters. At its core, this GH arc combines everything fans crave: high stakes, emotional depth, complex moral dilemmas, and a beloved child in peril. It echoes past storylines involving experimental labs, think Cassadines, Faison, and Albrecht, while introducing fresh dynamics with Dalton and Sidwell. Most importantly, it reminds viewers why General Hospital remains one of daytime TV's most compelling dramas: the ability to blend science, family, and danger into unforgettable storytelling. Final take. Will Emma pay the price? As spoilers continue to unfold, one chilling question looms. Will Emma Scorpio Drake become collateral damage in Sidwell's twisted pursuit of power? Britt and Dalton are trapped in a deadly game, Robin and Patrick are racing against time, and Anna is haunted by her past failures. The entire town of Port Charles could be pulled into the chaos before this story reaches its explosive conclusion. One thing is certain, General Hospital fans should brace themselves for heartbreak, redemption, and shocking revelations in the weeks ahead.